Welcome, everyone, to today's broadcast of Kingdom Keys to Business Success. I'm so excited to introduce to you today's speaker, Martha Krejci. From tech executive to business growth powerhouse, Martha is on a mission to help local and online entrepreneurs scale smarter without burnout. She's the CEO of Sales Driven Local and founder of Martha Krejci's company, where she leads marketing and growth strategies that actually move the needle. Martha has been featured on Oprah Magazine, Fast Company, and Cosmopolitan, and made her first million in under a year using the exact methods she now teaches others. Whether you're building a local business or an online brand, her insights are practical, powerful, and proven to deliver results. So excited to have you here, Martha.
Aw,
I've
thank you.
been really excited to talk to you. Well, we would just love to hear how God called you into entrepreneurship and how this all transpired because it's been an amazing journey. So,
Yeah, it's been wild. It's been very, very wild for sure. Um, when I first got called into entrepreneurship, it was like I was getting called out of one thing, and then the only other thing was entrepreneurship. So what I actually was, I used to work at GoDaddy. I was in leadership at GoDaddy for a little over 5 years, and usually when people hear that, they're like, "Oh, okay, it's all starting to make sense now." But whenever I was there, I thought I was going to be a lifer there. Like I loved
yeah.
my job. I was moving into, I was moving up the ladder, doing all of the different things. And, I just thought I would be there forever. I just loved it. And one day I got a video of, I was sitting in my carpeted cubicle, smelled like the 60s. I think we're all familiar with the one, right? Had my little like quotes pinned to the carpet that got me through my day. And I got a video from my husband, which was weird. Like he doesn't send me videos anyway. He doesn't barely even messages me. And we talk, we talk at home, but like he doesn't use the
Right.
phone
Yeah.
a
Not a
lot.
texter, maybe.
Right. And so when he sent me a video, I was like, what the heck? I open it and you know how you see the very first frame of the video and you kind of know what
Yeah.
you're about to see. I saw our baby on her feet, unassisted. And I was like, you just know what you missed.
Yeah.
You see what you missed. And I couldn't watch the video because I was on the calling floor, so I had to go to the bathroom, which is just so glamorous. But I went in there to watch the video, and that was it. I saw Nora, our baby, taking her very first steps via the phone, and I
Yeah.
wasn't there. And everything, everything cracked open for me right
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
it's not like a right or wrong thing. It's not like all moms should be home. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that you're convicted, you personally get convicted about things you personally are supposed to be convicted about, right?
Yeah.
To get us
Yeah.
into where we should be. That's
Yeah.
how it works. And I mean, convicted is not even the word. I was
Yeah.
mentally, emotionally shut down. And I quit my job that day.
Wow.
And to this day, it's the weirdest thing to even explain to people, but I didn't go like start anything small. What I did was started a marketing agency. Like who does that? Who quits their job, has no idea, no, goes to work that morning, happy as can be, quits by that evening,
Yeah.
and starts it was an SEO agency is how it started out. And then any SEO agency person knows that you end up in a full-blown agency because people need everything. But that's how I got into entrepreneurship, is because I got out of what was keeping me away from my baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that it just I felt it when you said it, just struck a chord that's like, like what am I doing? I gotta be doing something else. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And why did you jump into the SEO? Just was that your experience?
I had over time at GoDaddy, I had just like developed a really good, like, I have a strange, unnatural understanding of SEO. And even to this day, as it comes to like the AI engines and everything, like the LLMs, I guess, I still understand what feeds them and what they're looking for so they can bring your stuff back. I just understand it. And so that's why I created it, is I was like, well, shoot, I could just go ahead and do this because I already understand it well.
Yeah.
And within the very first month, I was making exactly as much money as I was making at GoDaddy. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it
So
is. That's
it's like
amazing.
I skip a beat, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was like you really stepped into your calling because that's what happens, it seems. When you step into your calling, things
Yeah.
just click faster, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And the trust and the surrender, right? It's like I did have my moments. I'm not gonna sit here like everything was perfect and I was not stressed. No, I was stressed. Um, I was stressed.
Yeah.
I remember even thinking like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get clients? And then I went down that whole thing. Because the thing is
Yeah.
like in your brain, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to set up this business. I'm excited about setting up this business. I'm excited to
Yeah.
serve in this way. I'm excited to do this. And then at some point, usually pretty quickly, you're like, but how do I get people to buy the things in my business? Like,
Yeah. Then
how do
what?
I get the people? And my first thing, oh my word, I can't even, I'm going to say this. My very first thing is I was like, I'm going to go to coffee shops. I swore people got clients at coffee shops. I feel like I saw too much TV. And I was like, I'll go to coffee shops and somehow I will be discovered as the genius that I am in a coffee shop. And of course, that didn't happen. I spent way too much money on coffee, right? And what I ended up doing is I went to the Chamber of Commerce, which I still
Mm.
love to this day. And I went to the
Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce and I did a training on SEO, telling them how to do exactly what I would do for them. And I taught them how to do it. And there were 7 people in the class, 7 people signed up with me.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that was, yeah, but it's that sort of like the bright idea stuff. You have to follow it and not poo-poo it, because a bright idea, 9 times out of 10 is not your idea and you really should go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a little tidbit from God just trying to push you in the right direction.
Yeah.
In your journey, I mean, you stepped out, you started a business. What do you think were some of the challenges that you faced that you either God helped you overcome or you, by being obedient, just realized it wasn't really a problem anymore?
Yeah. There's been a lot of them. Um, there's always an interesting thing that he does, and it's only interesting afterward. Um, but there's always an interesting thing that he does when he puts up, it's the way that I describe it is it's kind of like um, the little, the gutter things on a bowling alley. They put
Oh,
up
yeah, bumpers. Yeah,
bumpers, thank you,
bumpers. Yeah.
to keep you from going in the gutter, right?
Yeah.
Um, what I think God does to us or does for us, is whenever we start to get off track too much, it feels like he bumps you back to center or bumps you back into your lane, except to the untrained eye, the bump could feel like abuse. The bump could feel like painful, instead
Mm-hmm.
of realizing that it's that rejection was redirection. You hear those
Yes.
sorts of
Yeah.
terms, and I never really understood it until I experienced it. But whenever I experienced it, now many times, I'm very experienced. I need like some sort of patch now. But like just to put on my shirt, like I know what I'm doing with this one. Um, but whenever I've experienced it, it's very much like, before I understood it for what it was, I would sit and I would dwell. And
Yeah.
I would be upset and I would be unhappy. I would be upset at the people involved, like somehow it was their fault, their problem. They don't see me for who I am, and they don't, like just that kind of natural human stuff.
Yeah.
And But what I realized over time, thank goodness, it only took me 45 years. But what I realized over time is that um, that whenever I get rejected, what I do is it's almost like my eyes get brighter and I'm like, okay, what's coming, right? Like what's around the corner? I get more, the filter is now up for what does God have for me? Because now I'm away from this, so he must have something for me here. And so that's, I don't know if I answered your question. I feel like I went
Yes,
very far from your
you
question.
no.
Okay.
You did, and it was an amazing answer regardless. So, no,
Okay.
I got that. That's an amazing way to shift your mind into going down the gutter, so to speak, and being like things aren't happening over and over to redirecting it into if that didn't work, it must mean because there's something better around the corner. And to take that pain and see it as positive. I mean, that's great. That's really good advice to keep you focused on where you're going. And we don't know. Yeah, the road is not straight and it's not always easy.
Mm-mm.
But if you can always trust that when those things happen, it means something good's going to happen. I think that's a really amazing way to keep your mind renewed and strengthened and on your purpose and on your direction, you know.
It's an
Yeah.
amazing place to be, to have the muscle memory of how he brought you through it before,
Yeah.
because that allows me to not get like my breath won't get shallow, I won't get shoulders up, like everything gets tight. Like just I can have crazy stuff happen now and again. I'm not like I'm amazing, but I've just had it happen so many times that I know he'll do it again. I know he's
Yeah.
got me. I know that there must be a reason for this. And I know I just need to chill because all I'm doing is harm to myself. Like there's no, the same result is going to happen whether I'm anxious about it or not. So like just chill and
Yeah.
let him work. Just be still and let him work, right? Like
Yeah.
it's it's terrifying. The first time that you do it, it's terrifying because you're like, okay, maybe he did it for everybody else, but what about me? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know if it's true for me because it really is. I mean, you know, in our world, the the way that God works is sort of and don't I mean hear my heart on this. I'm using a term to make it make sense. A metaphysical thing you can't see, right?
Yeah.
But you know is happening. And so like it's a thing that like you really do just have to trust. You
Yeah.
really do just have to know that he's got you. And he's not right next to you saying, okay, here's what I'm going to do for you. And then you're like, well, yeah, of course I can trust you now. It's like you have to trust first.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what really came through when you were telling your story is the transformation of trust, of not being trusting, controlling, doing things on your own to just knowing that he's there helping you. And it might not look like maybe how you thought it was going to look, but in the end, he's going to pull through. And the more you let him do it, the more you're going to sit in that trust and you're going to sit in that, okay, I know this is just another wave that I got to ride and I'm going to go
Mhm.
up and down and then I'm going to eventually, it's all going to be smooth again. So that's a huge shift. And I think that that's not an easy one. I mean, I know for myself and a lot of entrepreneurs that that trust and letting go of control is hard or not getting frustrated by the downfalls and the struggles. So that's a great transformation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah. When you work with people in your business, what do you think is one of the most common things that they struggle with in starting a business and scaling it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I see with people is that they they're so they're so concerned with, rightfully so, but they're so concerned with making sure that they're doing the right business the right way for the right
Mm-hmm.
people, because those are things I'm very
Yeah.
specific on when I'm teaching also. But they can also get paralyzed in that space, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But am I sure this is the right person? Am I
Yeah.
sure this is the right thing? Am I sure? And nobody's ever sure. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
always It's in the doing that you get refined. You've probably heard that 9 million times also. Like it's you hear it a lot because it's true, right? You can't there's another thing that people say. I'm just going to come on here and just say a bunch of quotes. There's another thing that you can't direct a boat, or you can't move a boat, or no. You can't change the direction of a boat that isn't moving. I don't think that's true though, now that I'm saying it out loud. I don't know what it is. Anyway, basically the point is this. Anyway, the point is this, that as you're going, as you're actually, as you're starting your business, and as you're starting to serve this person you believe you're called to serve in the way that that you believe you're called to serve them, start there. You will be refined into different places. There's
Yeah.
not one business owner that I know that is still where they started out business wise, in the place that they started doing the thing that they started doing. Not one single person that I know. It's
Yeah.
everybody. You bob and weave into the right thing, but you
Yeah.
can't do it if you're not going,
At
because it's all
all.
in your head.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, that's really good advice. It, God wants you to take a step and then he'll take a lot of steps to help you, but you have to take a step, and something that one of my mentors teaches is just do it, just go.
Yeah.
If you fail, amazing, because you're just going to learn more and get more refined, like you said. So just go.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I do think you're right. A lot of people get stuck in that analysis paralysis or
Yeah.
perfectionism or something like that. So
Yeah, I love failure.
yeah.
It's I'm just going to come on again and talk about all of the things that nobody really wants to talk about. But the failure of it all those are not only the best lessons ever, they're the best stories ever.
That's
Because I can
true.
talk about like all the different times that I goof things up. I can talk about that, and it brings you in alignment with people where they're like, oh, okay, I get it. I can make sense of this. This makes sense to me.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
love that. And then I also love when you were saying, that God is going to do things for you, but he needs you to do something first. And that reminded me of, like, if we get biblical about it, which we should, right? Is, the priest stepping foot into the Jordan, the
Yeah.
rushing water of the Jordan, which, if you understand the Jordan, for those of you that are watching right now, if you understand the overgrowth around the Jordan and exactly how the Jordan ran, that the water stopping right there was not, that is no small feat. And but it didn't stop for them, it stopped after them. So they put their foot in and then the water stopped. So there had to be a certain amount of trust to put your foot into, like, the rushing waters of the Jordan, and
Yeah.
not, because there were animals around there. There was all sorts of, like, stuff going on. Plus the
Yeah.
water is crazy. So it's not just a stream. That's not what I think
Right.
we think of it. And we're like, oh, it's just a little water. No, it's like rushing water.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but God stopped it for them, but they certainly had to have a good amount of trust before he did.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. I mean, it takes a lot of courage. It does. But God will help you with that. So if that's
Yeah.
where you're at, start with that. Start with asking for God for courage, and then
Yes.
you take that one next step and that one next step, one step at a time. So yeah,
Yes.
that's a really good visual to really see it will happen. He can do amazing things. What do you do to connect with God in your business? Do you have any kind of routines that you do?
Yeah. Um, I pray without ceasing. I pray all the time.
Yeah.
It's just I always ask for wisdom, discernment, peace. I ask for peace all the time. Even if, like, things are going
Yeah.
great, I still want peace in my heart, because you can have everything going really well, but still not have peace. You could still,
Yeah.
it could still be kind of cattywampus on the inside. And And so I am always asking for peace, wisdom, discernment. Those are the things, those are like my big three. Whenever I wake up in the morning, and that's like before I go to bed and when I wake up, and then just kind of,
All
sporadically,
day.
kind of throughout the day. Yeah. But my other one that I've prayed since whenever I woke up in the morning for, gosh, for a long time, since like 2018, I want to say, is make me a Moses. And
Ooh,
what
I
that
love that.
means to me is I know that I'm rough around the edges. I know that I don't come across super scholarly or anything. I know that I'm not necessarily the greatest orator of all time. Um, but I want for God's will of what He wants to happen through my life. I want that to happen. And so, my
Yeah.
Make Me a Moses prayer in my heart, that means, Lord, whatever I say today, have it land on people's hearts the way you want it to land. Speak through me. Allow me to just be the megaphone, so to speak.
Yeah.
But make sure that your will is done through me, because it's literally all that I want. It's all that I want. And so
Yeah.
that's the Make Me a Moses thing.
Yeah. I
But
love
yeah,
that. I
yeah,
love that. I think people will really resonate with that because we just want to feel like we are really living out our purpose. Once
yeah,
you get to the point where you believe you have a purpose, then it's like, what is it? And
yeah,
just, let God deliver it through that prayer. That's a really good one. I personally love Moses. I love the story of Moses. I love that just the that he takes somebody that's not good at speaking, not good at much of anything really, and
right.
transforms them. And I feel like we all could just really, really benefit from that, knowing that he equips you. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all together, and he will do his best through you. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
I also love in
Yeah.
Moses, I love Moses too. I love how in his story, he kind of had everything for a little while. He had his 40 years, 40 years, 40 years, right? He was kind of
Yeah.
broken up into
Yeah.
three 40s.
Yeah.
And his first 40 years, he kind of had it all, kind of messed it up.
Yeah.
Um, and then he ran, and he was, and in solitude, and he was by himself, and he was completely poured out,
Yeah.
right? So like in that second 40, it's the reason he didn't believe in himself, and he stuttered and that sort of thing. But I think I mean, this is just me and my hot take on it, but I believe that his stuttering probably came more from his psychological space than anything else. And he's just
Yeah.
he's by himself. He feels bad. He feels, like he put himself, kind of in a bad place and whatever. And but then that's where God comes in when we're completely poured out. That's the
Yeah.
moment, right? I mean, how many of us have the story of, man, I was at a rock bottom. Like we hit rock bottom, and that's where a lot of us find God, um, and that's that for him. He completely was poured out over that next 40 years, and then the last 40 years was his redemption story. That
Yeah.
was like that was his whole story arc of, okay, now I'm going to do what God wants me to do, win, lose, or draw. And the last part was lose, and so it's just
Yeah.
it's a very cool story. And then, yeah, we won't get into all of it, but
I know.
it's a cool
It's
story. I
fun
love
to
it.
talk about that story. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you just made me think about, you're right. I mean, he had a lot of trauma. So he had
Yeah.
a lot of renewing of his mind and some things he had to work out. And just like all of us, we all have things.
Yeah.
And just the closer we get to God, the faster I think those things are gonna be healed in us. So
Yeah.
what would you say is a tip for anybody that might feel stuck, or just a kingdom key tip in partnering with business and
Yeah.
partnering with God in business, either how to do it or anything along those lines, what do you
Yeah.
find helpful?
I think the most helpful thing, and this is something my husband, I posted it on Facebook the other day, um, but my husband brought it to me, and this is I'm always praying like the your will be done, like I want your will to be done, like do what you will through me. And my husband actually came up to me the other day, and we don't often talk about our prayers with each other, but he came up to me the other day and he's like, before I was kind of I was praying for, the business growth and stuff like that. And that's kind of what he was doing. And then it was just a few days ago, he came up and he said, you know what I'm praying these days? And his eyes start watering a little bit. And he's like he lifts weights and all of this stuff. His eyes start watering. And nobody tell him that, okay? Nobody tell him I just said that. But he said, you know what I'm praying these days? And I'm like, what? He said, I just pray that his will is done through our lives, that what he wants for us is what happens. And I think in this world of needing money and all of that, I understand it, trust me.
Yeah.
But I think whenever we approach him first, not with an agenda, or with an agenda, but with an agenda of his, with an agenda of, I want your will to be done through me. And I understand that could look very different than my will for me. And to really just lay it at the feet and say, like, this is like, do what you're going to do. Slam the shut door. Come on, Martha. Slam the door shut. I told you I'm not that great.
Oh,
Slam
I've done
the
it like
door.
10 times.
Slam the door shut if it's not for me.
Yeah.
Like, just, I don't want it if you don't want it for me, but you have to like believe that in your heart and know that he's gonna take care of you. I mean,
Yeah.
we read the verses and we know the songs, his eye is on the sparrow and he cares for you the
Yeah.
same way that he's going to care for everything else. And we say that, and I think that part of us, or some of us, are like, maybe back then, when there wasn't all this money stuff and there wasn't all this stress and there wasn't all this extra stuff, we're in a different time. We make things different for us, but the Bible is living
Yeah.
and true, and it's not any different then than it is today in
Right.
its function, right? And so for us to really be able to say, he does got me, right? Like, he really has control over everything. And there's something else that my sister says. I know you asked me a short question. I'm giving you 4 answers. Something that my sister says is, Martha, God is either sovereign over everything or he is sovereign over nothing. And you choose what you believe in that moment,
Yeah.
right? And so if you truly believe that God is sovereign over everything, then you can take a breather and let him go, even when it has to do with money stuff. You're going to get a bright idea. You're going to get, like these different business ideas, or a new opportunity comes to your door or something like that.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. But you putting your foot in the Jordan about that sort of thing is you saying, God, have it. I'm ready. Bring to me what you want me to do. And then that's you putting your foot in the Jordan over an instance like that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. It's nice to have that helpful reminder of it's all or nothing. Like, don't forget, if you're going to give him your business, then give him all of your business. You're going to give him your heart, give him all of your heart, And I
Yeah.
think that you and your husband have been on the journey, so you know how good it feels to surrender yourself to God and feel that love and connection where that's what you want.
Yeah.
Some people may not have experienced that yet, so they haven't fully surrendered that and feel that love from him and therefore that trust. So
Yeah.
what would you say someone could do to inch their way, will end with this, inch their way to building that kind of real intimate relationship with God.
Yeah, I'm glad you're asking this. Um, you're a good interviewer.
Thank you.
Uh, you need to be prayerful. So essentially, he's always here with us. It's when we turn to him that things start happening, right? He's always here with us. I
Yeah.
think there are two things that he's called us to do. Because I always just go back to the Bible. What have we been told to do? The what we've been called to do is to stay in his word and to make sure that we know it in our heart, that we understand
Yeah.
it, that we're able to, look to it for wisdom as well. Then we've also are called to be in communication with him. So pray to him. I feel like some people, when they don't, especially when they're scared or when they haven't ever had the sort of that dynamic encounter with Christ before, really, when you haven't
Yeah.
had that before, you just don't know. And it's
Right.
not, you're not stupid, you're not wrong or anything. You just can't know until until you've had that, you can't really describe it, can't really understand anybody else describing it. But when you draw close, he draws close to you, right? And
Yeah.
so those are promises that were made, and the promises are never broken. So that's what I would do, is I would draw close to him and then allow him to heal the different parts of you that are scared, are worried.
Yeah.
Ask him to take the anxiety from you. Ask him to take the depression from you. And then honor and praise. Like it's it's all of those things. All he ever wants from us. Like, we've got a job in the Great Commission. That's our job. What
Yeah.
he wants from us, though, personally, what he wants is a relationship with us. He loves
Yeah.
us. He loves us more than we can, he loves us
Mhm.
more than we can understand. Like,
Yeah.
I can't understand the love of, because I went away from uh, the church for a while, okay? And
Yeah.
then I came back to it. And so when I came back to Jesus, um, now I understand this love that makes no sense. I don't know how, in the years of my life, in my 20s, when I knew it all and was just a big doofus, um, I was, I was, I mean, there were times where I would say he wasn't even real,
Yeah.
and I don't understand how he can love me so much that in those moments where I was, I was mad, I was saying he wasn't real, I was doing all of these different things, and he was still protecting me in
Yeah.
those moments. Because I can look back on my life and I can say, wow, God's hand was all over that. I
Yeah.
can't believe I didn't go down, because he was protecting me even in the moments where I was terrible to him. And so, to anybody that's watching this, this is what I'm trying to get to. Finally, we will land the plane. Um, to anybody watching this right now, if you are in a season of, I know who Jesus is, I have had a relationship with him before, maybe I haven't had a relationship with him before, but he doesn't feel close right now and he doesn't feel real right now. And frankly, I'm a little terrified. The world's a little crazy, the economy's a little crazy, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. And I frankly don't feel like I have any help out here.
Yeah.
What I want you to know is Satan would love for you to believe that.
Right.
What we need to do is we need to just draw close and let Jesus show you the kind of love that you will not be able to explain to anybody else either. So that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. So good. Thank you for sharing that. Um, you're right. It just takes your willingness, just your willingness to show up and he'll meet you where you're at. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing. I would love for the audience to know how they can get to know you more, your business. Maybe just tell us a little bit about the current business you're doing and then how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah. So I have a couple things that I'm working on, but I'll just talk about one of them. Um, I do something called the Invincible Families Project. I work with 500 families in one capacity and then in another capacity, kind of unlimited. But I'm working with 500 families to help them create their own, really their own personal brands from home so mom and dad can be home. Essentially, at the end of the year, I want everybody to be making at least 25K a month. That's a doable thing. And so we show them how to be able to create their digital products and things like that. Or we get their stuff set up. We do their website for them. We do their social. We do their email marketing, all of the stuff, lead magnets, blah, blah, blah. But really what we're doing is we're building up their influence so their family is able to really live on mission and see what that's like. And then the platforms end up paying us as influencers,
Mhm.
right? The platforms pay us, sponsors come in and pay us. There's all sorts of different people that pay us where we don't really even have to create products if we don't want to. And so that's the Invincible Families Project.
Wow, that sounds amazing. That
It's
sounds
fun.
like a beautiful journey and just to be able to help families spend more time at home. Obviously that's
Yeah.
near and dear to your heart as a mama. So that's
Yes.
amazing. Sign me up.
Yeah.
So, what do you have today? You have something really cool for the
Yeah.
audience. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so I'm a big nerd. You probably gathered that by now. I have made hundreds of GPTs for different things, and GPTs meaning the AI,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little bots, whatever. Um, and uh, and so one of them that I use often is a social media GPT, where essentially what you do is you tell it who your person is, like who are you talking to, what is the stuff that you sell, or what do you share, or what do you offer, or what do you, talk about. And then the GPT is actually going to work out a social media strategy for you across platforms in ways that like draw people in. So it's awareness, it's engagement, it's all of the things. So just let it do its job and you just do what it tells you to do.
Wow. Amazing. That's so awesome. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're not using AI, then you might need to be using AI because it's so much easier, so much time efficiency in it. So, and if you're making millions of dollars, then I'm sure it's brilliant and it's going to be very helpful. So jump on that. The link is below in this on this platform, and it will be in the email that I gave you earlier today. So make sure you jump on that freebie and check out Martha at her website. What's your website again?
It's just withmartha.com.
Withmartha.com. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Martha, for being on the show. You're just so filled of fun and wisdom and all sorts of amazingness. I love your testimony. So, again, thank you for being on the
Thank
show.
you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. Make sure you grab her freebie and come back again tomorrow, and we'll have some more awesome speakers giving you the kingdom keys to business success. And I will leave you with this. Remember, you're blessed to build, called to serve, and graced to prosper. I hope that this inspired you to build a real deep and intimate relationship with God because He wants you to succeed. All right, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.